So guys, in this video I'm going to talk about a few reasons why you should upgrade from the Z6 to Z6II. Or today, if you're in the market for a Nikon camera and the Nikon mirrorless camera, why the Z6II is a great upgrade from your DSLRs also. So the first point is improved colors, because what I get out of the camera is the most important thing for me. The colors have improved. What I mean by, especially the skin, what I mean by it is that when you take a picture, and especially when you take a shot in the auto white balance configurations, whether it is A1 or A2 or A0, you're going to see more neutral colors coming out of the Z6II compared to the Z6. I think what they have done is they have fixed the white balance. In my observation, the Z6II has a slightly cooler white balance. It's still warm, but it's cooler compared to the Z6. Z6 has this overly sort of warm tone, so that thing is improved, I think, in my view, in the Z6II. Of course, it matters more if you're shooting JPEG, but this is something I really care for. So in my view, the skin tones are better. There is less yellow and greenish tone on the skin. In fact, there is no green or yellow tone on the skin now at all. Now moving to the next point, there is definitely much better low light autofocus. I have demonstrated that. You can check this video up here. I've put the link up here. With autofocus continuous, the camera can easily focus up to -2.5 EV to -3 EV. If you move to AFS, however, you can go down to -5 EV. In my experience, in my use cases, I have seen the camera focus very efficiently at -5 EV. Although Nikon claims that the camera works well till -4.5 EV, I think it works a little better than that if you are working with AFS. Now, the IAF is at par with competition. In most cases, you can check out what's his name? You can check it out here in this other review that this guy has done. Great review where he talks about how it is as good as Canon and Sony. In some cases, it's actually tracking the eye better than Canon and Sony when you're intending to track the eye. So okay, that's one big reason for you to move up to the Z6II. Now there are a few smaller reasons which I think all add up to a much overall better, greater experience in the Z6II. For example, the grip in the Z6II is much better. Now visually you hardly see any difference in between the Z6 and the Z6II, but I think how the grip tapers off, it's nicer, it's more continuous on the Z6II compared to the Z6. The grip is slightly deeper, there is more to hold on to. Overall, it's a nicer feeling camera, although visually you won't be able to find the difference, but the experience is real. Now, one very interesting thing is that whenever you're shooting with a screen tilted out, it's going to deactivate the sensor on the EVF. So one experience with the Z6 has been that I'm probably tilting the screen out, and I'm coming in front of the camera. The moment I do that, the screen switches off because the EVF gets activated. Now you don't have that problem in this because they have taken care of this. It's a very smart fix, and I think that makes the whole experience of using the camera much better. The faster burst mode. For a lot of people it matters a lot. For me it matters a lot. You can easily use a Z6II as a sports camera because it shoots up to 14 frames a second and easily with all functionalities up to 12 frames a second, which is as good as the best in this price package. So this is the improved burst rate, and the much deeper buffer is a great addition to the Z6II, and it's a great reason for you to upgrade. Now eye autofocus. I spoke about the eye autofocus. The eye autofocus in video is fabulous. Now you can actually track the left or the right eye. It is slightly more accurate. It's slightly more assuring that it is tracking the eye, and it's nice to know that it's not probably focusing on your nose or your ear, but actually on your eye when you're self-filming like this. So I think that's a great feature to have. It's an interesting feature to have. It's slightly more assuring feature to have. I never had any problem shooting or filming or recording with the Z6. It's just nice to know that it does eye autofocus in video as well. Now guess what? The shutter sound is actually quieter on the Z6II. For those who like a nicer, quieter, smoother shutter sound, I guess it just adds to the overall experience. It's something to consider. at least something that you can feel good about knowing. Has fantastic weather sealing, and I've spoken about it before as well, that it can handle the weather uh, up to minus 40 degrees in the Arctics. And according to Nikon, the Z6II has even better weather sealing. Now, give me a sturdier camera any day, it's a great value add. So, good reason to upgrade. You have better animal IAF, more trustworthy animal IAF on the Z6II. So all of you guys who are trying to shoot their pets or even trying to do a little bit of wildlife photography, this is a better camera than the Z6. One more thing that I found to be very interesting is how the level display looks like. It's a nicer and neater sort of animation compared to the previous generation. I don't know if you could see it. I'll take a picture of it and put it here. This animation is nicer. This looks better, neater. You can see more of the scene in this animation compared to what you have on the Z6. Now in the Z6II, the shutter speed can slow down up to 900 seconds, which is extremely convenient for landscape photographers or anyone who is trying to shoot the Milky Way. Well, that's another nice little improvement on the Z6II. It's very handy and very useful. One way the Z6II is better than its competitors like Canon or Sony, in fact even the Z6 is better than Canon and Sony in this regard, is how well it tracks the face and the eye even when you're wearing a mask. I mean, today most of the time you're probably shooting someone who's got a mask on, and you want your face autofocus or eye autofocus to work even with the mask. Z6II does it. I'll put a link up there for you to see this detailed test done by this guy. He's done a wonderful job. So yeah, I think that was a delightful addition for me, because I've been shooting, I've been outside, I've been shooting, and especially during street photography, there are so many guys who've got their masks on. I can still the camera can still kind of find the face, if not the eye. In most cases it actually finds the eye and focuses on it, but if not the eye, at least it never fails to recognize the face. So that's a fantastic improvement. It's a smart addition to the camera. I don't know why the Canons and the Sonys don't do that. Even the Z6 does that very well. Now the last point is not a feature, but just a reality of this camera, that this is a new camera. So the good thing about the new camera is that it has at least a couple of years of life in front of you, and you can expect the manufacturer to support the camera with firmware updates at least for the foreseeable future, for at least 1.5 years to 2 years, which means that this camera, in terms of its value, it's going to only go up. That's a great thing to buy into, the fact that it's today's camera. It's not a 2-year-old camera, but it's a current camera. So and also the fact that it has got dual processors, which means that any update that or firmware update that Nikon pushes, the camera is going to be able to handle that additional bulk of the software. So guys, I thought these are some small but very important points that makes the Z6II a great upgrade over the Z6. I mean, if you're buying a camera today, if you're buying a Z camera today within $2,000, you should definitely go for the Z6. Two, if you don't have a budget constraint, even if you have a Z6 and you want to just have a better experience of shooting and filming, I think it's a great idea to go for the Z6 and probably keep the Z6 as a backup camera, or sell it off if you do not need it. So yeah, that's about it in this video. I hope to see you soon again. Keep watching. Please subscribe. Thank you. See you soon.